Hello and welcome back to Alex Suffers for Your Sins, and this is Mr. Robot. Last time on Mr. Robot we had 407 proxy authentication required. It started off very good, and then kind of became a bit of a doozy. Not in like it was a bad episode, but boy, it was a downer. So Elliot was kidnapped by Vera, and they went over the whole thing of what Vera wants, and he was introduced to Mr. Robot, and then Vera wanted Elliot to have a therapy session, and then started going through Krista's notes that she didn't want Elliot to hear, and Mr. Robot didn't want Elliot to hear, and basically it was a very huge dramatic thing that eventually led to the realization, the truth behind the window story that we've had since, episode 2? The truth is that back in the day, when Elliot and Darlene were getting their camera so that they could take a picture of their snowman, Kevin McAllister, basically, Elliot heard the footsteps of his father approaching the room. He hid Darlene. Mr. Robot then took over, because Mr. Robot was there back then. Mr. Robot took over, grabbed a bat, and started swinging it to get Mr. Alderson away, and then, in a last-ditch effort to escape, jumped out the window. And the reason Mr. Robot was so hell-bent on getting Elliot the heck out of there, we're still pretty early in the video, I probably shouldn't be cursing yet. The reason he wanted to get Elliot out of there is because he knew that Mr. Alderson was probably going to sexually molest Elliot. This has broken Elliot, and exactly what Vera wanted, and Vera was there for him. Until Krista just stabbed him, and he's dead. So that's that. However, I do imagine Elliot is still going to be very broken after that reveal. And the last thing that we had in the episode was the power going out. I'm not sure if that was just a dramatic editing thing, or if that was more like that actually happened. The lights went out, because the Christmas tree was the last to go out, which was odd. So I don't know if there's a specific power outage going on again in New York. We'll have to see. But yeah, and not only did that episode break Elliot, it kind of broke me. So, that was fun. I'm doing this first thing in the morning. I have not watched anything else yet. I mean, well, obviously, this is my second day of recording. I've already filmed the anime and stuff, but normally how I would start my Wednesday recording is with Prison Break. A nice, good, fun episode of Prison Break. Then I would do Life on Mars. Then I would do Mr. Robot in the evening. However, for the sake of my own sanity, I've decided to start with Mr. Robot and end with Prison Break, so I end on a high note. God knows what we're going to be getting in this episode. Let's see. Let's see. We're almost there, folks. We're almost at the end. So with all that being said, let's get into this episode of Mr. Robot, and let's see if there's going to be another fun editing thing that I can do with this episode. I'm going to say this is probably a normal one. Here we go. Normal aspect ratio. 1995. You know how much I don't want to be in the 90s right now?
Who cares what I'm doing? It's none of your business. Don't worry about it.
Oh. He's talking to him, isn't he?
I gotta do this. It's gonna help us. Just trust me.
Do what? Oh, jeez!
Angel's not gonna find us, Serge. Give me a sec.
What kind of hide and seek is this?
I see you, butthead!
Ugh. It's just Angela. It's okay, everyone. It's just Angela. I miss Angela. Angela had better times than this.
I killed him.
And we're back.
I killed him.
Okay, that was just...
Okay, we need to call the police.
That was just dramatic the lights going out was just dramatic for the episode. That's okay.
Oh, shit, bro. What the fuck?
Nah.
What are you doing, dummy? Grab his wallet. Let's go.
Fuck him.
We're gonna just get in this taxi. It's gonna be just fine.
Nah.
Thank you. Just hold the taxi. Come on, let's go. We gotta go. Gotta go. It's okay. I got you. Hey.
Okay, she's at least looking after him. He needs that right now.
It's not fair. Well, that's the way it's gotta be. We're splitting the baby.
You can split my dick hole.
Oh!
Alan DePiro, you apologize this instant.
But Mom.
Now, young man, or I'm taking your iPad.
Sorry, Aunt Trudy.
Now,
Damn!
you go take a timeout in the living room and think about what you said.
The kid is vicious. Oh, that's exactly what I need right now. Just some kid throwing shit at people. Marshmallows for toasting. It's still fucking Christmas in the show. Oh no.
Mama! I said not now, Tommy!
It's the most wonderful time of the year. God damn it. Mistletoeing and hearts will be glowing when loved ones are near. It's the Oh. I thought we were going to keep going with that for a little bit.
Did you know that cities were created by lightning?
What?
And one night, about 12,000 years ago, a bolt of lightning hit a chunk of limestone, which formed a powder that we now know as... Anyone?
Cement?
Cement.
Huh.
Very smart, Darlene.
Well, I'll be
You're
damned.
absolutely right. No, what I meant was we all know how much you care about Darlene.
What the hell are you talking about?
Well, you know. Saw Alderson's interrogation video? When you pleasure yourself to?
Oh, damn. They keep an eye. They keep an eye on her. God damn it.
Look, cunt stick.
Damn!
I don't know what you're driving at, but
That's a
there's
new
no
one.
way I'm giving up my brother. So, whatever you're gonna do to me, you might as well make it fast.
She's gonna torture Dom.
Okay. You give us what we want, we'll get Dominique the care she so urgently needs. Or she'll die here, and I'll just have to get it out of you some other way.
Do you give up Elliot or
Does that make
Dom?
sense?
There's the question.
If I would have fought him, maybe it would have stopped.
Look at me. You were just a child.
Don't go blaming yourself on
It wasn't
anything.
up to you.
I won't go back to forgetting.
You never did forget.
It's always been
You
in
may
your
not
mind.
realize it now, but you shouldn't go through this alone.
I know.
He's not alone,
I
though.
know.
There's always at least one person there for him.
There are 13 of them.
Janice!
4 children, 8 adults, and Trudy.
Don't! They're innocent, Janice, please!
I wonder how many of them have to die before you buckle.
Please, Janice, don't! Please!
Would she give up Elliot
Do
for
not do
13 people?
Please don't! Stop!
I'll give you my brother's location. I'll do whatever you want. Just don't hurt them.
Innocent people.
Now look who has pluck.
He went to the museum. Now, presumably, it can't be too late at night. Because the Deus meeting is at 9. This has been a long-ass Christmas day, by the way.
I'm sorry I let him do those things to you. I'm sorry I didn't fight back.
Bruh. That's not...
I'm sorry I didn't protect you. I'm sorry I didn't protect you.
Jesus, no,
I am so fucking sorry! I'm sorry, okay?
Now he's become Mr. Robot. The key.
This is the key to my old bedroom.
You hid it in the
Why would
museum?
I hide it here?
Didn't you live in
This
Jersey?
guy's key to our room. We took it from him so we could lock him out. We thought that if he didn't have his key,
He wouldn't be able to come in and hurt us anymore.
Huh.
we hid the key so the monster couldn't get to us.
You hid it a long fucking way away. They lived in New Jersey, jeez.
Don't you see?
You tried.
This wasn't running away from it.
I was fighting back.
Between that and Mr. Robot, Elliot fought.
Okay, if he's not with his phone, it's because either something happened to him or he doesn't want me to know where he is.
You're lying.
Are you serious?
That's not-
I'm not lying.
Yes, you are. You are a filthy, lying liar.
No, actually, that's the most truthful thing she's ever said, I think. She can't get a hold of them. What's happening? What? Something happened.
Probably won't ask him.
Him? Who's him?
Check my phone. He's probably been trying to call me.
Wait. Is it the FBI? Did Dom plan something?
Don't worry, everything's grand. I've got your family and we're on our way to the safe house.
Hey.
Who's this?
Who the fuck is this?
I asked you first.
This is Deegan. Who's this?
Deegan.
Janice.
Wait, is this the...
Oh, and I'm really sorry about you boys.
What do you mean, what boys?
The fella's guarding Dom's mum's house. I had to give him a bit of the holy show back there. There weren't no other way.
Oh, thank God for the Irish.
Speak English.
I fucking killed him, dear.
Oh.
Hot off for now, you flange!
Oh. Dom, what are you doing? Oh. Oh. Woo. Good job, Dom.
You want to help me? Go find Elliot and take them down.
Oh. Oh. You gotta go. God damn, that's a hero's death right there. Oh, that is satisfying to see. Hey, kiddo.
Hey, kiddo.
Ah! I knew it.
Meeting's in an hour.
That's not why you let me back in, is it? Want to talk about it?
Do we want to talk
Mind if
about
I talk,
it?
then? The only reason I'm here is to make sure no one ever hurts you. That was supposed to be your father's job, but he failed. You fought back the only way you could. You brought me here to protect you from him. I thought I could store the truth so you'd never have to see it or feel it. Fact is, I didn't want to see it either. This was never my secret to keep. You deserve better than to live in darkness for so long. I'm so sorry. I failed you too.
I mean, you were doing the best you could.
I am not your father. I never was.
Yeah.
I know. You're nothing like him. That's why I created you.
Yeah.
You're the father I needed,
Oh.
not the father I had.
It's the father you deserve.
If I could go back in time, change everything that happened to you, just make it all go away.
Right.
Then I wouldn't be me.
Okay. Thought we were about to build up to something with White Rose, but that's alright.
And I wouldn't have you. I don't know if I can go through with the hack anymore. I don't know if I can do anything. I can't do it, I'm sorry. I can't do it.
If he can't do it, then what happens now? Shit! Jesus. Alright. Ah. You know, I kind of feel like if this was a different show, where there were, I guess, sort of two personalities, I don't know, I almost feel like they would just, you know, the goal would be getting rid of the other personality. But honestly, I don't see how this show could end with getting rid of Mr. Robot, you know? Like, after all of this, even after everything, he's here to stay, I feel like, you know? Jesus, another dramatic one, obviously, but fuck. I will say, after this episode, I'm good getting through the rest of this. I don't know what it is, because this was equally, like, sad. I don't know, like, is there a difference between, like, sad and depressing? Because last episode was more depressing. This is sad, but, like, now, the thing at the end of, he can't do it. He can't go through with it. You know, he can't do the hack. I mean, that's the fucking thing when it's like, oh shit, we still gotta go do that. We still have to beat White Rose. That's the main purpose of this right now. I mean, you know, a main purpose at least, but it's like, we're going through this crazy ass, you know, story arc, you know, that suddenly appeared from last episode. You know, this whole story arc with Elliot and the truth about his father and stuff, and it's like, cool. White Rose, And not that I want to detract from this because it's still good, but it's like getting back on track, I feel like, is going to be a bit difficult. But I think how we're going to get back on track is Darlene. Once Darlene gets back over to All Safe, I think she can. I think with her, they can pull through on this. Shit, we got 5 more episodes though. We've got 5 more episodes, which, as an aside, I need to get cracking on what we're going to be doing after this show. I need to get cracking on making a poll. Or I'll just watch Better Call Saul. I don't know. Might just do that, honestly. I know normally I do a poll, but maybe I'll just do Better Call Saul. I was supposed to just do it. I was supposed to record most of it over the summer, but it just didn't work out, so I should probably just fill this slot with Better Call Saul once this show's over. It's not a bad idea. Alrighty. Okay, so Jesus. So, I guess sort of grouping things together, we'll talk. There are essentially two storylines going on. I guess you could say sort of the A plot is Elliot and the B plot. I mean, they're both kind of A plots, but you get what I mean. The plot 1 and plot 2. Plot A, Elliot. Plot B. Did I say plot 1 and plot B? Darlene, you get the idea. So, to group them all together, just so that we keep consistent in the discussion here, let's talk Elliot first. Let's start with the really happy stuff first. So, years and years ago, Elliot hid the key, his father's key to his room. That whole thing with, did he do enough? Honestly, when he is talking to his younger self and he's like, I'm sorry I didn't protect you. And it's like, dude, nobody, it's one of those things nobody is looking down on you for being the victim of sexual abuse. Nobody is looking down on you for that. And it's an interesting thing talking about that in this, It's an interesting thing bringing that up, basically. I need new glasses. The whole thing of fighting back, Did Elliot fight back enough? And at first, I'm thinking, well, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter, I don't know. It's a very interesting thing in this episode where it's like, well, yes, he did fight back, but did anyone expect him to? I mean, I don't know. It's a weird thing. I can't say, is it right or wrong to fight back? It just sort of... That's just sort of how it happened, Elliot did fight back. I mean, just down to, when he's... At first, before you even learn about the key... we already know, technically, yes, he did fight back. He created a defense mechanism within his own mind, basically. Mr. Robot is a defense mechanism. It's oh god, I know I sort of brought this up when they first revealed the whole thing about Mr. Robot being in Elliot's mind. But it's kind of Yu-Gi-Oh-ish, like early, like season 0 Yu-Gi-Oh, when like Yugi's getting beaten up by the bully and he wants money and stuff, and then Dark Yugi shows up and plays a shadow game and, you know, kills the guy, you know? It's kind of like that, to a lesser, more realistic degree. Instead of an ancient spirit, it's Mr. Robot. So, I mean, just the fact that, I mean, when he's saying, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't do anything. It's like, well, but you did. You did do something. You got that bat. You swung it at him. You also saved Darlene in the mid. I don't know why. I kind of want to hear what Darlene has to say about all this. Like, I'm curious how much she knew, you know? I'm willing to bet she didn't know everything, you know? Because there have also been times where she says, like, oh, I wish my dad was here. It's like, I don't think she knew. I don't think she knew at all. But, I mean, Elliot did save Darlene. Elliot protected Darlene. Then Mr. Robot got that bat and then jumped out the fucking window. So that alone, before they even mentioned the key, it's like, well, no, man, you did. You did fight back. And maybe it didn't... Maybe it wasn't 100% foolproof, but goodness, we didn't even ask you to fight back, but you did. So we're not going to criticize how much you fight back, you know? So that's the thing, when he's talking to himself about, you know, why didn't, you know, did he fight back, I don't know, it's an interesting thing. It's like, I feel like, well, because there's also, when he was talking to Krista at the beginning, and saying, you know, hang on, I'm gonna sort of re-listen to what Krista said. What the fuck is it? There it is. Jesus Christ. It was like 15 minutes into the episode, really. Okay. That might be it for Krista. Like, she might be out of the show now. It was a good exit. But might not. She said, see you tomorrow.
Elliot, you have to come in with me.
If I would have fought him, maybe we would have stopped.
Look at me. You're just a child. It wasn't up to you.
I won't go back to forgetting.
You never did forget.
Okay, so Krista did address this briefly. The whole thing of I should have fought him. I mean, that's almost putting the blame on himself, you know? Like, this is, like, he's basically almost thinking, this is my fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault, Elliot. It just isn't. And that's essentially what she's saying here. It is not your fault that you were a victim of sexual abuse, you know? So when they go through the whole thing of, you know, you did try. I mean, I guess it's essentially, this shows Elliot did the best he could, you know? And whether, you know, I guess it's not even a question of right or wrong when it comes to should you fight back or should you not. It's not a question of right or wrong. It's not even a question, really. It just is a fact that he fought back. Oh, excuse me, Jesus. it really is just a fact. He fought back in various ways. He hid the key. He created a defense mechanism. He jumped out the fucking window. He did fight back. And I mean, it's almost like that's just that. You know? Which you could kind of extend this. Okay, so when Mr. Robot comes in, and I mean, it's got to be slightly tough because, I mean, Mr. Robot looks like his father. But there is such a distinction between them, even before this reveal, you know? So, I mean, when he says, you know, I made a mistake, I shouldn't have kept those memories from you. It wasn't my secret to keep, you know? That wasn't my secret. I shouldn't have hid this from you. Then there's that. You know, do you ask, was that right or wrong? Was it right for Mr. Robot to keep that a secret? Honestly, if these are right or wrong questions, I feel like they cannot be answered. Maybe right and wrong is too black and white for that. Maybe it's too black and white for that, for these questions. I don't know. Because when you look at everything Mr. Robot did, honestly, he did the best he could, you know? Now, something I'm curious about, which one of them stole the key and hid it? They make it sound like it was Elliot who did it specifically. Granted, going off of that first scene, obviously Mr. Robot is already there. And Elliot says, Angela won't find us here. Just give me a second. So that, I feel like, implies... I feel like that implies, because it clearly means the other one is concerned about the game of hide and seek. The intense game of hide and seek where Angela said, prepare to die. The hell. Apparently hide and seek was hardcore in New Jersey. Anyway, important things. But the other one was concerned about the game, I suppose. Concerned about Angela finding them. Angela finding them. And this is Angela we're talking about. And the one in control was concerned about the key. So I'm going to assume that that was Mr. Robot in charge who stole the key and hid it away. Again, it's another... And since Mr. Robot is Elliot, then... yeah, that's just kind of like... yeah, that is Elliot. Elliot did fight back. His defense mechanism kicked in, stole the key. I hate that the key, because it's a key, but the little, you know, prongs, I guess, on the... I actually don't know what the fuck that'd be called, but on this freaking ancient Victorian skeleton key that their house had for some reason. But on the end of it, I hate that it looks like an E for Elliot. Like, god damn it. But anyway. But to me, it sounds like Elliot's defense mechanism kicks in. Mr. Robot steals Mr. Alderson's key to Elliot's room and then goes and hides it. And Elliot is being kept more or less unaware. That was the beginning, I suppose, of Mr. Robot keeping those secrets from Elliot. That's how I would interpret it. However, it's entirely possible that it was a more conscious effort by Elliot. But then that begs the question, does Mr. Robot count as a conscious effort by Elliot? There's your question. So that's the thing. I mean, with Mr. Robot at the end there, you know, apologizing for keeping the secret and everything. Honestly, the thing you also have to remember is that, you know, when Krista says, you were a kid, it wasn't up to you. And you think about, okay, so he created this defense mechanism, he created Mr. Robot to protect him and stuff, but he's still creating this persona based on his own child mind, you know? Mr. Robot did everything he could, but he was also a child, you know? He was also a child during that. He would have been as, you know, just like Elliot. So when he's apologizing for all this stuff, it's like, you have to remember, this is the best that a child could do to save himself, basically. Hiding the key, even creating Mr. Robot and coming up with all this stuff and even shielding his own memories, this is the best a child could do. You know? And that is something important you have to remember, is that even back then, Mr. Robot would only have been as old as Elliot was then, you know? It's still that child's mind, you know? And honestly, when he's going over stuff, it's like, oh, I shouldn't have kept this secret, it wasn't my secret to keep and stuff. It's like, dude, for a young child, you did the best you could, you know? And I like how he says, you know, I'm not your father. And Elliot says, I know. You're the father I needed but didn't have. And I like that. That honestly, yeah, which even back in season 1, before we knew A, that Mr. Robot, you know, was in his mind, and B, that that he was supposedly his father, honestly, we did sort of feel that. Like, from the get-go, it's like, yeah, he definitely seems like a sort of father figure to Elliot, you know? Ah, damn it. I do kind of want to rewatch some of those season 1 scenes before we knew everything about Mr. Robot, you know? So, yeah. That shit was good. And then at the end, it's, you know, he can't do it. He can't go through with the hack. So what do you do now? Now, when he was saying, you know, if I could go back in time and change it and stuff, I was like, what if you could go back in time and change things? That sounds like a question that White Rose has been having. But they sidestepped it by saying, you know, Elliot wouldn't be Elliot and he wouldn't have Mr. Robot. So, there's that at least. Next up. First off, I have to hear that line again by whoever, Dom's cousin or whoever the hell. The kid. Oh my gosh, that video of Terrell. Is Terrell dead, by the way? We just don't know. They could pull some twist that he's still alive, but he could just be dead.
We're splitting the baby.
You're gonna split my dick hole! Thomas Allen DePiro, you apologize this instant.
You can split my dick hole. God, that shit is exactly what some 90s ass... Well, not even 90s ass. This is modern time, but just a kid fucking insulting someone. God, that's hilarious. We're gonna split the baby. You can split my dick hole. It's like, damn, kid. This shit is crazy. Anyway. And they fake you out thinking that, the Dark Army got them, but no. It was actually... What the fuck was his name? It was like Deegan, right? I think it was like Deegan. Yeah. Now he's not. Now Deegan, that wasn't the same guy that we saw earlier, right? Because, well, they said his name was Mr. McGuire. I guess it could be Deegan McGuire, but I don't know. Yeah, he's just credited as LIB, which was, I believe, Lucky Irish Bastard, excuse me. Sorry I messed that up. Lucky Irish Bastard. So yeah, that, I mean, just going over everything, it's like, okay, would Darlene be willing to let Dom die for Elliot? Kinda, yeah, actually. She would be more willing, because it's brother versus friend, lover. They're not great relationships either way, but she didn't want to give up her brother. But when it's an entire family of innocent people, yeah. So, that's when Darlene will crack, basically. So yeah, that was all very interesting. But then Dom coming in like a fucking hero. That she actually got her family to safety. Of course, they had to burst in there and just grab them all and shit. But whatever, I'm sure if Dom survives, she'll be able to smooth it over. But but yeah. But she did at least save her family. Got a one-up on Janice, and then like a fucking champ, like a move that you'd probably see like in Die Hard or some shit, takes the knife out of her chest, hits the heel of that one guy, takes his gun, shoots Janice, shoots the other guy, shoots the guy behind her. Brilliant, amazing. I love when this woman gets to kick ass. And that was amazing. And Janice is dead. Bye, Janice. Goodbye. Good riddance. Even though I like Janice. Honestly, like, I thought she was really good. She was a lot like Irving. Like, yeah, they're horrible pieces of shit, but I kind of like them, So, yeah. So I was glad for that. I mean, it's sort of the different, like, when you get a horrible piece of shit on this show, it's like, a lot of times, though, it can be very fun, like Irving and Janice, even Philip Price or Vera. It's like these guys can be very entertaining to watch, But pretty much like all of our, I guess, villains are very fun to watch, So there's at least that going for this show. But yeah, and then going out like a fucking hero and saving Darlene and getting her out of there too. Now, it's entirely possible that Dom might die because of this. It's also entirely possible that she won't die. They might pull a fast one, and she might actually survive this. But it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. But she did at least call for backup, and Darlene is on her way to. And I like that moment. Go find your brother and take them down. It's like, I'm so ready for this. Elliot's not, but I'm ready for this. I want to get to the climax already. You've been teasing me for so long. Just let it climax. Well, I made it weird. Anyway, so great episode, really great episode. It didn't destroy me like last episode, so there's at least that. I am pumped. I don't know if pumped is the right word. To get into the next 5 episodes, because I mean there was a lot of sad shit in this, but I am cautiously optimistic getting into the last 5 episodes. So yeah, where we go from here, I have no earthly idea, but yeah, that is pretty much it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Mr. Robot reactions, there is a playlist on screen as well as other videos you can go check out. Well, one other video really. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.